Lamar Jackson goes 3-0 as a starter. I'm here trying to attempt to put an end to the discussion between Flacco and Lamar in my episode of What I Love and Hate coming right out.
Renegade. Renegade.
Hey guys, my name is Sunny. Welcome to szgsports. This is my love and hate episode after the game. Great game. I was actually a little surprised. I wasn't expecting that game. The D, man. Woo! That D looked good. So let me just start with what I love. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go and try to put an attempt to end the discussion of who should be the starter moving forward. I'm actually tired of the whole debate. But let me go with what I love. Defense. Marlon. Jimmy. B-Card, Kenny Young, Owasu, Mosley, Williams, Pierce, Weddle, Clark. I killed Clark last week, right? He looked ready. He was ready. This defense, Suggs, Judon. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. There's nobody on the defense that I can actually say like, oh, that guy, right? This is my first video that I had no one to put in my hate. So, FYI, I had none. I was looking like, what the hell can I put in what I hate, right? The defense came to ball. Loved the just all that blitz. I think it took the Falcons by surprise. They didn't think that we were gonna dare to just go all out blitz on that. They're deep in their territory. They probably said like, they might bring a pressure too. They sacked Matty, Ice, Tavon recovered, touchdown, great. The defense Marlon was all over the field. Tell me what Julio did, this great receiver. Tell me what Julio did. See, what people don't understand about the Ravens defense is that the Ravens defense, they have been tested. When they were talking about, we're going to go against this great offense. Well, and Julio Jones, and he is a great receiver. I'm not taking anything away from Julio. Julio's a fantastic receiver. Calvin really looks like a good receiver. Might be a great receiver in the future. And Sanu, we know what Sanu is. We faced him when he was in the Bengals. But going back to Julio, hey, we go to AB twice a year. AJ going twice a year. This year was only one. But the Ravens have been, this year also Michael Thomas, right? The Thomas when we played the Broncos, plus Sanders, we have been tested, and our corners have, showed up. They have showed up, and they have played great. So, the defense game ball to them, they play great. Also, this goes back to the defense. Wink Martindale. He called a great play. When you can hold the Atlanta Falcons, I think their total was like a 180 yards. 180, 181, something like that. It was below 200 total. I'm not talking about just passing. Total, right? That's spectacular. I have to give it to Wink. They have a great game plan, and the players executed greatly. Tucker being Tucker, right? And I'm going to be honest, after the Saints game, I have said before, I wasn't that game. I was worried that he would have a Cundiff type, Cundiff after that miss from New England. Before that, he was actually pretty good. After, not Tucker good, but really good. And after that, he was never the same. And that game, again, I was there. It broke the fans' heart in the stadium. But he has bounced back. He has looked good. I love Tucker. He's a weapon. Fake punt. And what I'm going to say about the fake punt, it's not only, it was like Harbaugh said, hey, Georgia, you want to know how to do a fake punt? Hey, hold my beer. This is how you do. Sam Cook, beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. It was perfectly executed. Props to Harbs. Props to special teams. Great game. So, I can get honorable mentions. Crabtree, I feel like Crabtree, even though he didn't have a whole lot of yards, in the 3 catches he made, it looked like he always was looking to come to Lamar, right? To make it a little bit easier, and that's what the receivers need to do. Andrews had looked great, really good. Ty Montgomery. So with Ty Montgomery, when we got him, and I remember talking with Joe Newell in that Path to the Playoff video that we did, that Montgomery is a receiver that can rush, right? So that being said, this is what I'm expecting from Montgomery. I think he had 3 rushes, perfect. Because what you want is when Ty is there, they don't think, okay, this guy's not gonna run. You want them always on the edge. But he also had 5 complete, or he caught 5 balls for 42 yards. So Smokey, even though he didn't get any catches, he was open. He was getting open. Lamar didn't see him, but he was getting open. And let me say something. If I had to put somebody in the hate category for this game, it would be more Hayden Hurst. Last game, I thought he had a pretty good game against Oakland, and this game was nowhere to be found. I'm expecting more from him. From the number one, he's our number 1 pick, right? So I'm expecting more from Hayden. I don't know. I just think I couldn't even tell you what's wrong with him. He shows up sometimes, he doesn't. Hopefully it's not in his head. He can move on. So that's what I hated. I guess Hayden Hurst. What I love. And you would say, like, where's LJ, right? Where's Lamar? Well, Lamar has his own category. Lamar is what I like and hate at the same time. So Lamar probably had his worst game of the year, right? 12 from 21, 125 yards. But Lamar's not only, a thrower, he's a runner. 17 rushes, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. And you might say, this is the same point that I made when we play Oakland and when we play the Bengals. Total yards, he's close to Matty Ice. Matty Ice only had 131. And yes, he's not facing the Ravens defense on the other side. To be honest, I don't even know how the Ravens defense will react with this dynamic quarterback, right? He's hard to defend. But he was underthrowing, overthrowing, not reading quite right. Again, I would say this is his worst game. And not only because of that will happen as he keeps going. The progressions will get better. The completions will get better. But the fumbles, that can't happen. He needs to secure the ball. 3 fumbles. He lost 1. That one was a pick 6. That can't happen. He needs to secure the ball. Now, let me say something before about our defense. That's what I think about Lamar. Lamar, I think, had a C- game. C- game. He did just enough for us to win. I haven't mentioned something because I'm gonna mention and why I think the starter is gonna be who the starter is. But something else from the defense. The defense, in reality, guys, gave up 3 points. That 7 points from the fumble return that Lamar gave up. Well, the defense also scored 7. But it was 2nd and 20. I think they were from the 25-yard lines. The Falcons were. And Brandon Carr got called for a PI. That wasn't a PI on Brandon. It was more Sanu hooking on him, right? And then, selling it well. So, and then they got it on the 1st and goal on the 1 they scored. I feel like the Ravens probably would have stopped them. In my opinion, the Ravens, for me, the defense only had 1 bad drive. They just gave up, the first drive. But they didn't give up the touchdown. They only gave up 3. So now, let's go for who the hell should start this game going against KC and moving forward. So, I have been talking on Twitter. Ing Raven, this is for you, man. Joe Newell, for you also. Flacco or Lamar? I cannot comprehend 2 things. While Lamar is winning, why would you want to bring Joe Flacco? The team looks like it's rallying against or for Lamar. Second, while Joe is somehow injured, let's call him 70-80%, why would you want to bring Joe Flacco? Lamar's healthy. Lamar's playing good enough for this team to move forward. Lamar's our future. Why are we talking about Flacco being back as a starter? Is Lamar hurt? If Lamar's hurt, then we can talk about it. Is Lamar hurt? No, right? He had a concussion. He passed the protocol. He said, I had no concussion. So we can move on from that. Why are we talking about Flacco? The reality is Flacco, and I don't want to diss Flacco. Flacco's probably the best quarterback in Ravens history. But at some point, you have to move on. His injury, the timing wasn't great for him because Lamar came, he won back to back to back, 30 wins, right, while he was hurt. And at this point, guys, even if he loses, then we get out of the playoff run and you keep Lamar because you want to see your future. There's no need to bring Flacco, again, unless Lamar's injured. Now, that being said, Lamar's affecting a lot of facets, right? Our running game we have a running game. Before that, we didn't have a running game. So we currently have a running game because Edwards is playing really good. I didn't mention, but the whole running game is part of stuff that I love with this game from the Falcons game. We have a running game. Okay, our defense is balling, and it's not only because Lamar's leadership. I don't think it's that defense has enough leadership as it is. It's time of possession. I'm gonna see the last 3 games when Lamar was the starter. Ravens, Falcons. We had the control of the time of possession, 40 minutes to 20 minutes. That defense was fresh. That's how they allowed less than 200 yards in the whole game. In the Baltimore-Oakland, that was the closest, 34-26. We still had the ball longer. Again, defense stayed fresh. That's how we win the game. Baltimore-Cincy, 38 minutes for Baltimore, 22 for Cincy. Again, this is how the defense stays fresh. Now, I'm not saying before the defense was bad. I feel like the defense has been playing great, minus the game in against the Panthers, right? Even the Cincy game, the first game, I thought the defense didn't start great, but then they picked it up. Anyway, let's go before this last 3 games, the previous 3, when Flacco was the starter. Against Pittsburgh, 36-24, the flip of the time possession that we had against Oakland. Then, 34-26 against Carolina. So Carolina also won the time of possession. And then against New Orleans, 34-26. This is why I think the defense is playing how it's playing. The defense, the offense is controlling the clock, and the defense is just coming there, doing their thing, and they know, hey, we can just every play hustle, every play push, because you know what? Once the offense gets the ball, even if they don't score, they're gonna hold the ball for a while. It's gonna give me time to rest. That is key moving forward. We have a game against who? The Chiefs. I think they're number 2 overall offense. Check that video coming up in the next day or so. That team, high offense team, how do you beat them? You keep that offense in the sideline, especially with that defense. You keep them on the sideline. That way, when our defense comes, the defense can just play 100 because they don't have to take any plays off. They are being rested when our offense is there. That is something Flacco wasn't providing. Flacco was not providing that time for the defense. And then we go and say, oh, the defense is losing game for us too. Yes, when they are gassed because they are playing all or the majority of the game, they are gassed. With Lamar, that's not happening. So, 3 things. Joe is injured. I don't want to hear, hey, Flacco is injured. Second, Lamar ain't losing no game yet. So 3 in a row. Let's keep it rolling. That team is rallying behind him, right? Third, time of possession. It's allowing that defense to play fresh, to come punch people in the mouth. We're getting pressure on the QB. We're getting turnovers. Yes, Raiders were bad, but I mean the Falcons are a bad team, but offensively they're not bad, right? That's all we heard all week. Julio, Calvin, Sanu, Hooper. But the defense was fresh, so they can hustle, they can play hard. We have, in my opinion, the best corners in the league, the combination. And I'm gonna give you a bold statement. I think Humph is a top 3 corner right now. I think he's in the conversation with Ramsey, right? The thing with Humphrey, he ain't talking that much shit right now. That's why nationally, people are not talking as much as with Ramsey, because Ramsey made a lot of headlines on the beginning of the year. So guys, what do you guys think? What do you love and hate it from this game? The starter, I'm not even going to ask who do you think is the starter. If you want to put it below, that's fine, in the comments below. I just think it should not be a debate at this point. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at szgsports. I will see you next time.